Hello and welcome to the Lech Lecha edition of the short Vort from Shlishi to Revii. This part of the Parsha discusses the dispute between the shepherds of Lot and the shepherds of Avram. The shepherds of Lot were grazing in land that were not theirs, but they said that it was not gezela, it was not theft, because Avram at that time did not have any descendants, and since he had no descendants, Lot, their master, would be the owner of this land in the future, and therefore they said it's not gezel. However, the shepherds of Avram said that we don't own it yet, and therefore it is gezel. This dispute eventually led over to Avram disputing with Lot himself, and he said, I don't want there to be a dispute between us, for we are brothers. What is this language of brothers? So the Chassam Sofer explains that, as the Medrash discusses, Yitzchak looked like Avram because at that time there was no distinction between the old and the young. Avram also looked like his nephew, and people could not tell them apart, and they associated them together. Therefore, when Avram saw that the shepherds of Lot were stealing, people were assuming that Avram also was condoning this, as he was a partner with Lot, and he looked like Lot. Therefore he said, we have to separate. So at that point, Avram gave Lot a choice of where to go, and Lot saw this beautiful kikar, this land that was like an Eden, that was very fertile land, and it was near Sodom, and he said, I will go there. The fact that he chose this material wealth was something to be his downfall, and that is the lesson we will discuss today, that materialism is a temporary benefit, while Mitzvos is an eternal benefit. So in this week's Parsha, there were two people who were tested with opportunities for wealth. The first one, Lot, he chose to go after the fertile land, to leave the holy man of Abraham, and to go be near Sodom, near the evildoers. And the result of his actions were that the city was destroyed, and his whole wealth was also destroyed, and he became a poor man in the end. So this gain that he chose was fleeting. Avram, though, later in the Parsha, after he went to rescue Lot, he was offered by the king of Sodom great wealth that he had earned, that he had the right to, because he had saved the people. However, he declined, and he said that I won't even take from a thread to a shoe strap. And for this, Avram was rewarded with the mitzvos of tefillin and tzitzis. And this mitzvah of tefillin and tzitzis is something that was passed down from generations to generations for thousands of years, and created tremendous zechus for Avram and his descendants. So we see that it's better to go for the true wealth of mitzvos rather than the temporary wealth of the materialisms. And we can see what exactly the value of mitzvah is, and the mitzvah in particular of tefillin, by the story with the Chafetz Chaim. There was one point that was particularly difficult financially in his yeshiva, and one of his talmidim said, I will offer 1 day's merit of wearing tefillin, so that the families, the kollel people, all them, that they will be able to not have to be so starving. And the Chafetz Chaim says, no, this deal cannot happen. And he said, I'll explain to you why it can't happen. And he said that this mashal, it's a parable for someone who goes into a store to buy a candy, and he has a 1,000,000 ruble note, and the storeman says, well, we're not going to do this deal, because if you had made a nice big purchase, it would be worthwhile for me to give you the change, but to make such an amount of change, it's not worth it for me to even take this business. So it's the same thing by the mitzvah of tefillin. The reward of tefillin and any other mitzvah is so valuable, beyond our ability to comprehend it, and therefore to exchange it for temporary wealth or temporary well-being is not worth it, and is not even an opportunity that can be exchanged. So once again, we learn the value of mitzvos, which is permanent, over the temporary value of wealth. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful Shabbos and a wonderful week.